It is known, of course, that a lot of the Jewish laws are not what we would call in English intuitive. Nobody would guess that, for instance, for some reason, the Torah forbids one to wear shatnez, to wear clothing made from wool and linen together. Many such laws exist, and those are ritual laws, and all of us know about this. But what's more interesting is that among the laws that are between people, while most of these laws are kind of intuitive and logical, and I guess any normal society, any righteous people who are not Jewish would want to keep those types of laws. For example, not to steal, not to make damages to other people's property, and if damage did happen, to pay for it. Those are logical things. That's what upholds the society. Nobody wants to live in a country where the more powerful or the more rich are able to do whatever they want and everybody else suffers. Everybody wants some kind of a reasonable law. In fact, according to Ramban, this is included in the laws of Bnei Noach also. The seventh law of Bnei Noach, the seventh law of all the society, all the people in the world, is that they would have some kind of a court system that deals with financial laws and things like that. But there are some laws in the Torah that, even though they're laws between people, they're not really intuitive, or at least the general society doesn't abide anywhere near by the standard that the Torah requires. And one of such laws, which really includes many different laws, is the prohibition of Lashon Hara, against gossiping, speaking badly about others. Now, most of the normal countries do have laws against lies, against destroying reputation of someone. Let's say if a newspaper publishes an article and says that such and such person did this and that, and it turns out to be a lie, for defamation, one could actually go to court and get compensation, sometimes a lot of money. But that's only if it's a lie. However, if it turns out to be true, that's considered completely normal. Newspapers, internet sites, they're all busy with telling all kinds of disgusting things about various people. Usually it's important people, of course, who are subject to these types of rumors. I mean, very few people are interested about me, Chaim Sunitsky, right? But if it's a person who, for instance, a political leader or maybe an actor or whatever, those people are usually in the spotlight, and anything that happens to them, everybody discusses. But the Jewish law is very strict about this. This is what the prohibition of Lashon Hara, in fact, includes. And the main book about Lashon Hara, the most important book ever written probably on this subject, called the Chafetz Chaim, to such an extent it was so important, this book, that the author began to be called by his book. Rabbi Yisrael Meir HaKohen, the author of Chafetz Chaim, began to be called Chafetz Chaim. Whenever you hear the expression Chafetz Chaim, they usually mean a person who wrote this book. Of course, the expression is taken from Psalms when it says, Mi ha'isha Chafetz Chaim, who is a man who desires life? And it says that you should abstain from talking badly, from gossiping. So in the introduction, the author of Chafetz Chaim brings many other prohibitions that one transgresses when they talk badly about others. And this is true even when the information is true. Like I said, when it's false, this is worse than just regular Lashon Hara. Literally, Lashon Hara means bad mouthing, bad language. So there is an expression called Motzi Shem Ra, and that's worse than just Lashon Hara. Motzi Shem Ra is when a person is defaming somebody and saying things that are actually lies to destroy someone's reputation. But Lashon Hara is any kind of bad mouthing, even if it's true. There are various situations when one is allowed to warn somebody. Of course, if this would be a prohibition in all situations and at all times, it would be impossible to live like this. Imagine a person is trying to find out about a shidduch, a possible match. Let's say he's looking for a lady to marry, or she's trying to find out about this boy that was proposed. And if nobody would ever say any information, then people would just be marrying randomly without knowing anything about the other side. Obviously, that's not the case. There are situations when certain information can be revealed. But there are specific laws that Chafetz Chaim outlines all the conditions needed in order to reveal the information. Usually it has to be first-hand information and no exaggerations. And most importantly, like I said, it's what's called litoelet, for a positive goal. Not just discussions about somebody, not just bad-mouthing somebody, but when there is a reason that a person needs to know for marriage purposes or in order to become a partner in business or for whatever other reason that is necessary, then there are possibilities to find out. If you want to hire this worker, if you want to work for this individual, if you want to rent out your apartment to this individual. So there are ways to find out about other people when it's necessary. But the regular bad-mouthing, just spreading information, even if it's true information about others, that is wrong. And it's, like I said, this is a kind of Jewish, specifically Jewish law, very high level, whatever the Jewish law requires for the society to be maintained. This is not like stealing or other types of actions between people which the general society accepts as also being wrong. Here we're talking about a special standard of Torah alone. Why am I saying all this now? Because we just are starting this week the next weekly reading, Parshat Shemot, and of course it talks about a very long period of our history, a few hundred years in our exile in Egypt, and it talks about Moshe, and among other things, there is a midrash. There's our sages, the Talmudic sages, had the following drash on the story when Moshe says to himself, I guess, now the thing is known. He killed the Egyptian at some point who was beating up a Jew, probably trying to kill a Jew. Moshe killed that Egyptian and hid his body. And later, one of the Jews who was arguing and raising hand on another Jew told Moshe, "Who are you? Who are you to be our judge? Do you think you'll kill me like you killed that Egyptian?" And Moshe said, "Okay, now the thing is known." So our sages darshan understand it to mean that now I know why the Jewish people are in exile and why we're suffering so much. Because of all these arguments between each other, because of all the bad mouthing, because we basically are not in peace with each other and not trying to protect each other's reputation. Instead, we're ready to bad mouth each other. So for that alone we deserve the exile we got. Very interesting drash. Again, it doesn't matter if this drash is really what happened. There are a lot of midrashim where the sages may have not necessarily known that this is how it happened. A lot of times they argue about the exact details. But the issue is what this midrash teaches us. Right? A lot of the midrashim should be taken as a moral lesson, as a moral value. The historical events that are described in the Torah, there could be a lot of different possibilities what exactly happened. But what our sages wanted to convey, very important point, that the bad-mouthing is a horrible thing. And anytime the Jews have these types of relationships with each other, we're in big trouble. It applies today too. If you notice, by the way, in Israel in particular, there's so much in the newspapers, everybody's blaming each other, and there's so much disputes and Lashon Hara, all the gossiping, and right before the horrible, what they call the Black Shabbos, right, the horrible day of the worst day since Holocaust, when so many Jews were killed. Right before that, there were so many demonstrations and so much hatred, and so everybody thought that everybody else is at fault. And it was a terrible time. And for some time after, the Israelis were able to unite, and that's what made them able to at least not be completely destroyed. They were able to unite, but now, to a large extent, it's coming back. We're still not united enough. There's still a lot of bad-mouthing. There are all kinds of rumors spread. The government is blamed for everything by those who hate the government, but also who, of course, are pro the current coalition. They think everybody else is at fault. It's a very difficult situation. So we have to remember that the results of this type of prohibition that is broken are horrible results. It's only the unity of our people that can bring the good. If people would only realize how to really think about other people's reputation, try to be kinder to others, trying to understand that you wouldn't want your reputation to be destroyed, so don't do it to somebody else. So many different prohibitions a person breaks when they talk badly of others, especially in today's day and age when there is internet. Anybody could just open a channel and say all kinds of things, even if they would be true. A lot of times they shouldn't be said. And how much more so that there are also exaggerations and lies. Is it not enough that there are so many people who hate us already and who are fighting against us in the media space everywhere? But we also have to do it to each other. That's the unfortunate situation today. And I really hope and pray that the situation will change in the future. It has to change. And if you like this video, please press like and please subscribe to our channel.